Hello, hello. That's Remington down below. And we are doing some remote Listen to This Bull live today. This is the show where we have a guest on to talk about a subject, and you can ask us questions during it. As long as you catch us live, it's an open-ended question and answer. We would prefer to answer your questions than sit here and come up with our own. I think you're better at asking questions than we are, in reality. Today's a little bit different. I'm in Texas, Remington's from Georgia, and we've got John Dye waiting in the wings to come on to talk about the SRC Summit. I've even got Jason Roberts standing next to me with the virtual PA. There's his hand, I promise. And Matt Behrens is about to come. There he is.
There he is. All right, guys, I'm pulled John on.
We do.
What's up, everybody?
John, what's going on, bud?
Hey, Remington, good to see you. Good to see Matt. I missed the set and all the cool stuff, but it's good to be here with you guys.
Absolutely, man. Matt's got a couple P's in Texas. He's got a couple people over there. He's got Matt, of course, Matt Behrens, and Jason Roberts, I believe, is over there. So there's 3 people over there with him. We're doing a little remote show. When work calls, you gotta be moving, you know.
Hey man,
so
that storm over there was pretty intense.
It's crazy. There is some pockets of this with the best hail I've ever seen. It's pretty impressive. And even the areas that are kind of on the outskirts of that storm have some dramatic damage. I mean, it's definitely worse than what we normally see in Georgia. So,
I'm sure.
It's kind of fun.
I'm sure.
I wonder though, because it's so good here, if you are training someone on how to find hail damage and you use Texas hail as your baseline, are you doing yourself a favor by training on such good hail, or is it better to train on smaller stuff, explain to them how that really is damage, and then let them stumble upon the big things? I wonder.
Well, I mean, you got to think too. That's where most adjusters do their stuff. They're mostly doing all of their trainings down in Texas. That's where all of them are licensed. And so, that's an interesting question. And you know, if that's the case, then yeah, I think that we are doing them a disservice for sure.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trained on the larger, I don't know what just happened. You know what? I'm going to get real close. If you're trained on the larger stuff, and then you go and you see something smaller, you'll probably assume that there isn't any damage. And I think that's the issue that most adjusters end up dealing with. So if they're trained on something, just to say, hey, this meets the threshold. Here's where the threshold is. It's minimum, but there's a threshold, and anything above that is solid. And then let the adjusters find the stuff that's obvious damage. They don't need to be trained on obvious damage. It's obvious.
Right.
I wish they did things that way. Maybe the industry will change soon enough. Maybe. I
agree, man. That's really interesting to think about, though, as far as that. As far as how people are trained, though, especially adjusters, because it's a really interesting training ground down there. It's not like anywhere else.
No, that's 100% true. All right,
I think it's like anything.
My audio for a second, Remington. So this one's yours for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the kind of analogy to it is in any industry. If you start off doing something that's tougher and it gets easier or more apparent, like larger hail, so to speak, I think it makes the job easier because you were in the trenches. You were trying to get, hail bot on 1/2-inch hail compared to, 2.5-inch hail of what's going on in Texas. I think it makes it easier. And I could, contrast that to being an attorney in Georgia. And that's where I started. It's tough. It was tough. It was hard. Now and when I go in some of the other states, I think it's made me a better attorney. So I think that correlates with, the contractors as well, or public adjusters that's, trying to get some roofs bought for their clients.
I agree, man. I agree for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, can I share some really cool news real quick with you guys on here?
Yes,
Yep.
definitely.
It's not even summit related. I know the summit's this week, and that's what everyone's really excited about. But we actually have two really exciting things happening. Well, three big things that are happening right now. Number one, we transitioned with we're no longer. Well, let me back that up for a second. I want to give you guys the biggest news first. Is that cool, or do you start with small news
Do
and
it.
work up to big news?
It's like hail.
No,
You start with the small hail.
Start with the small.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, they're all equally huge news. Okay, so I'm not even gonna say like what's what. But first things first. I don't know if you guys have been watching our TikTok, but kind of really funny situation happened last week, and we were out shooting some content with Company Cam and American Home Contractors out in Maryland and Virginia, and you guys, we got to walk and hang out on an actual Tesla solar roof.
I'm really looking forward to watching these videos. I saw the teasers for it.
Your
Wow.
teasers are amazing. I'm so interested. They're so cool.
It was
awesome.
insane. So the actual
I would have
episode
geeked out the whole time.
goes off at 5:00 Eastern today. So right after this is done on YouTube, the premiere is going on. So I'm like in the middle of talking to Tesla right now about it, putting the final touches on it. And so super excited about that. And it was so we had something kind of funny happen. And I'm gonna share that with you guys because not a lot of people know what happened, but it was actually kind of it was a mistake on our part that we did something kind of silly. But we should have caught. But we have we were on the roof and we shot this TikTok video on our phones. One of my guys did, right? And this was right when we had gotten up on the roofs. We were just hanging out up there, checking out this roof being installed. Well, this video of this Tesla roof installation goes viral on TikTok. We get 2 million views in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Insane. Yeah, like, and we have this feud with TikTok going on where they keep on censoring our stuff because I perform dangerous acts by doing donuts in my truck in the winter. And so TikTok keeps on like cutting our accounts down. So we have all these backup accounts. It went up on one of our backup accounts and just blew it up out of the water, right? So if you go to American.contractor.show on TikTok, you can watch these videos. So we had this one video, 2 million views. We're all like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And I'm watching the video later on and I'm like, oh, we're going to still get in trouble for this. There was a bunch of guys up there, Michael Gogan specifically, and some other guys that were up on the roof without harnesses. And I was like, there's no way that this is going to end well. Sure enough, the next day, I get a call from Tesla, and they're like, hey, dude, you guys got to take that video down. And
What?
because we were on a Tesla roof, Tesla was not officially endorsing anything, but at the same time, the way my guys worded this description, it sounded like we were thanking Tesla for letting us hang out on one of their projects, but it really wasn't one of their projects. It's someone else's project. And so they're like, look, the way it looks right now from a PR standpoint, it looks like we're not following OSHA guidelines. So can you guys just take it down? And I said, absolutely. And I deleted it right there on the spot while they're on the phone. And we put up some other videos and went over some stuff. And it kind of was good that we had all that conversation early on because we had to dump a lot of our footage that we had taken. But we had a really phenomenal time. And it wasn't anything other than, my guys got up on the roof and Michael Gogan with Company Cam, which these aren't contractors. They're just hanging out on the roof without harnesses, which made us all look bad. So at the end of the day, though, kind of a crazy story, but it was really cool that, we got to have all that little interaction there with Tesla, and they got to see what we're all about. We got to see what they're all about. And now we worked with them on making sure that like the video that actually is going out today is 100% compliant and everything looks good and everyone's happy with it. But it's super cool. The system is amazing. Like I can go on and on about how cool the Tesla solar roof is, but really it was something that I've never I haven't seen it or really understood solar that well. And I mean, I've seen like solar panels and that kind of stuff, but really, if you really stop and think of what Elon Musk and his team are really doing at Tesla by getting into the roofing market, it's pretty fascinating because, building cars is one thing. You're building cars on an assembly line. Every car's different or every car's the same and you basically kick them out, right? It's not that it's hard, I'm sure, and there's a lot of complex issues around it, but it's not the same as like doing a roof system where they have to send in the actual roof system and put it up there and then individually create every piece of flashing for it. And for that particular roof, and actually engineer the whole system and then send it to them, because every flashing is Tesla, every tile is Tesla, everything up there is Tesla. So
Wow.
it's extremely complex, and I mean, hats off to those guys, because what they're doing is really revolutionary, and it's no one's done what they're doing. I mean, from the underlayment all the way up to the tiles, to the glass, to the metal, all the stuff is manufactured by Tesla. So all the, now they've got all the wiring and everything that goes under the system. The inverters are all Tesla now. Everything is big. The batteries are Tesla. Like, everything is all their own stuff, which they can update and make really cool.
Did you get to see them connecting the panels together wiring wise? Did you get to see the connections?
Yes.
Were they good, strong connections? Are they going to last?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's I can't what they call those things. Sam's here with me. Sam, what do they call those things? A little MCI units or something. There's some sort of cutoff units. All that stuff had just been updated. And that's the thing, like, this is a work in progress. Just like anything else that they're building, they're revolutionizing and making it better every step of the way. But no, all the connections look really solid. I mean, you can stand on those tiles and walk on them, and they're glass, and they don't break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was.
If,
I mean, you
that's
normally
insane.
can't stand on solar. It's pretty crazy.
And they've got some kind of Gorilla Glass or something on there. They're supposed to be super hail resistant and all that fun stuff. So even
it's class 3 resistant, which obviously where you're at right now, I think that would have busted the class 3 shingles, right? So
yeah, what about?
And I asked that question. I think in what David Silverstein from American Home Contractors, and I agreed with him on this, really the most vulnerable part of that system is the metal flashings. The
metal flashings. I've been wondering. I'm sorry. I have a lot of questions.
That's cool. I learned a lot about it.
Is
this
the Valley
so cool.
also solar?
It's awesome.
The what?
Is the Valley also solar?
No,
I'm
the Valley's
assuming open
metal.
valleys.
It's open valleys. Okay. They were metal. So essentially, what it is, it's like a TPO, like the underlayment is actually the roof system, like the actual waterproof system, and it's what it almost feels like a canvas, like cloth, but it's really like a TPO, EPDM type system that's a peel and stick that sticks on the roof. It feels like, I had some guys tell me it was ice and water shield. It's not ice and water shield. It's something completely different.
Is it maybe it's a base sheet for like a mod bit, that kind of?
Yeah, it's like a mod bit sheet, but it's really thick and it's really, really, really good. And then the tiles sit on top of that. And so then you've got certain tiles that are the photovoltaic PV tiles or whatever that actually have the solar embedded into them and the glass on top of them. And then there's other tiles that are just like blank glass tiles. And then on the edge,
bird just flew into the window in front of me. Just birds around here. Anyway.
So it goes. So essentially, the way it works is the PV tiles can't touch the metal. So there has to be like a blank glass tile between the PV and the metal. And then all the valleys, all around the rakes and everything is metal. So, and then like if you have like blank areas where there's like this house had a dormer on it, and that dormer was all metal tiles. And then but you can never tell the difference from the ground. They all look the same.
Is it steel?
No, I don't. It was some sort of metal. It wasn't very thick, but that's why I was thinking like that's going to be the most vulnerable part of the roof for hail. Now, if a glass tile were to get busted with hail, you can actually remove individual tiles from the system pretty easily. Like we took one off and put it back in. It was easy.
Is it a click-in system where the connections are made automatically?
No, there's still wires and everything, but there's basically like these brackets that you line up on the roof first, and then the tiles snap onto those brackets.
Snap on.
So it's kind of it's really cool to see it all put together because it's pretty complex. But once it's there, like it looks beautiful. And the fact that we were in David's house and he showed us his whole thing, and you guys will be able to watch this on the episode. But I mean, he had the Tesla, the power walls, I think they're called.
Yeah, with
where they're
the
like
battery on it.
Yeah, so he had 3 of them in his house, so he could basically run his entire house off grid if he wanted to, and just be charging those power walls all day, and charge his 2 Teslas and everything else all within this, his system, and never have to use power. It's pretty crazy. Like I was blown away by all this stuff, and it was really cool. And then the guy's house that we were shooting at, the guy that was getting it installed, he was he was with Google X and like got into AI and drones and stuff. He was telling me all this crazy stuff, and he's personal friends with Elon Musk. Elon actually kind of sold him the roof. He called Elon and asked him, and so he helped.
Elon's a roof salesman.
Yeah, Elon's a roof salesman essentially. The richest man in the world is a roof salesman. Let's let that one sink in for a minute. The richest man in the world, roof salesman. Okay, so, but yeah, he went through the whole thing. We got this whole interview with him during the thing. He's a brilliant guy, and he let us hang out at his house. Super cool place. Not like what you would think. It was just really cool. And he got 5 of those solar wall or those power wall units at his house because he wants to be completely off the grid, and not have to ever rely on He's kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Northern Virginia, really beautiful area, but he didn't want to have to worry about anything or ever have to use his generators or anything ever again. So it was really cool. Like I geeked out for like 2 days on all this stuff, and then just geeked out again watching it myself.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that we held back that we're going to try to release later on too. And I'm going to do some more research. But the fact that we got to collab I'm literally texting the people at Tesla right now. So, I mean, we're working with them. Like they're at least, they put their stamp of approval on this, which to me was like the most important thing. Cause I'm like, to be able to do this and be a part of this is so huge. So I'm excited about it. And and the thing about it is too, though, like that roof that we were on between us, like on this show, like I'll share a little bit behind the scenes stuff, but that roof cost $97,000. Okay. And it was maybe 20 squares.
Oh,
so,
97,000, you said?
Does that include the battery?
97,000. That may have included the batteries. I'm not 100% sure, but the way he told me, he said, look, it cost $11 a kilowatt hour or 11 cents per kilowatt hour to get it in to our system. And he said, I actually can produce it with the length of time that the roof should last and everything else. He said it ends up costing them like 8 cents a kilowatt hour. So it's actually cheaper than actually having energy, but you're paying for it all. You're basically paying one giant energy bill up front for your roof. And then you never have to pay for electric again.
And there's so many states that have subsidies and things available for offsetting the cost of this.
Right.
I don't know if Virginia had that.
Granted, that particular roof system is the first iteration, and it's the first major thing out there that's commercially available of its sort, where it's not like a solar panel sitting on a roof, where it's an actual tile-like system. From what I understand and what I've been hearing in the rumor mill on my end is that there's some major manufacturers, big ones in our shingle space, that are coming out with actual solar shingles that can be interlaced with regular shingles. That should be coming out later on this year. And that's
actually how Tesla marketed theirs to begin with, was exactly like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's not possible with the way that they designed their system. But with this new stuff that's coming out, we should be able to get that price way down. And you're going to start seeing in the next year or two that this is going to become more and more prevalent in the industry. We're watching it really closely because I think it's going to become. And here's my fear, and this is why I'm kind of passionate about this right now. Is I don't think it's good for our industry to sit back and just watch that happen, especially considering that we kind of own the market for this stuff. Rather than the solar market taking over roofing, I think roofing needs to take over solar. But if we're not careful, like right now, this is that pivotal moment where these two industries are colliding. And so who's going to actually own the market is going to be really, this is kind of like a DL war right now that's going on in the industry. Solar's coming in, they're buying roofing companies and, doing all this other stuff that if we're not cautious, like they're going to take over the market. But the bottom line is, I think that our industry has better sales reps, has better volume, can do a lot more work. We just have to pivot towards solar a little bit, and then we can overtake that market, I believe. But it's kind of interesting to watch this going on behind the scenes right now as to what's happening within these two industries that are both competing for the same space in the industry. So
you're saying that there's solar companies that are buying up roofing companies right now. I didn't know this.
Yeah, so we made an announcement a few weeks ago. Cornerstone Construction, you guys may know Hunter Ballou. He got bought out by SIRC, which is Solar Integrated Roof Company or Integrated Roof Corporation. So that's a solar company out of Southern California that is buying roofing companies and then tacking solar onto it. Which I personally, that's one way that the industry is changing, but it's kind of interesting to watch. Now they're publicly traded, so they have a little bit different agenda going on over there, I believe. But as these things are starting to happen, you're going to see more and more of this, because as the solar industry becomes more aware that, and this is another thing too, what California does is what the rest of the country does. So in California, if you go to a solar company and you buy a solar roof, a lot of times what they're going to sell you, especially if you have an older roof on your house, they're going to sell you a solar system with a free roof. That's literally the marketing campaigns that are going on in California right now. You get a free roof thrown in with your solar panels. Okay? Because
they might as well replace the roof at that time anyway, and that's the cheap part of the roof. So that's the
cheap part, yeah. So you get a free roof, and that's.
But then you have panels that have penetrations through your roof. It wasn't really designed to be as waterproof as possibly the Tesla or a solar shingle down the road.
Right, and that's going to be the kicker, is how we start to integrate those new technologies that are much more. They're aesthetically nicer and everything else, but it's crazy, man, to watch this happening, because and we're so busy as an industry. If you think about it, everyone's got their stuff and everyone's extremely busy right now. We're all thinking about shingle shortages, the price of OSB, and all these other things that we're distracted with. I mean, this whole thing over here, this movement is happening, and it's happening a lot faster than we probably give it credit.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely hit the uptick on the S curve for the solar. So this is something that everybody should be paying attention to. And if you can get somewhat into it somehow, it's a good idea, especially as a contractor.
I agree. And it's one of those things that we got to, be mindful of as an industry. I'm not out trying to scare people or say, oh, we're all, solar is going to be this thing that's going to take us all out. That's not what I believe. But I do believe that we should at least start to pivot more into that world and start to understand that, especially with our customers. At the end of the day, it's what the customer really wants, right? What do they want? What are they looking for? What is it that they're excited about? If you have customers that want to buy solar, you got to figure out a way to service those customers. Whatever that means, that just is what it is. And if the industry, the media, all the powerful marketing that's behind it is pushing people into solar, and then you actually start to research how solar really works. Guys, I want solar on my house.
Me too.
The thoughts to be able to be completely off grid and not rely on anyone for power ever, that was that would be cool.
It's great.
We can all be prepared for the zombie apocalypse. It'd be great.
Exactly.
Companies are going to come out with a massive satellite that's going to cover up the sun. It's going to be a huge eclipse of the satellite and be like, we're not letting this happen. We're not letting them do it. But
that's like the plot of the Matrix.
Exactly.
Isn't it? Where they do that, or is it on The Simpsons? They did that.
Well, in the Matrix, they block out the sun in order to combat the robot revolution.
Well, if
Okay.
it happened on The Simpsons, then it will happen in real life. You got to be careful.
I agree. That's usually the way it is. If the Simpsons are the
For
foretelling
instance.
of everything. So
Hey, John,
There was an
I did the math. I did the tax brackets on this. You said it was 97,000 and roughly 20 something squares, right?
yeah, it was 20-something squares.
So
But
it's
like
roughly
I don't
give or
know if that included the I don't know if that included the power walls though in that number.
Okay. Okay. Well, the numbers that, without exactly knowing if that power wall is in there, it's roughly $4,000 a square.
Okay.
People are paying tile in Florida for $2,000 a square. Like, it's not as crazy as some would think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there. It's interesting.
That's a
Is
good
it
point.
reflective?
Well,
Was there
yeah,
a lot of glare coming off of it?
it's glass. Yeah, I mean it's reflective.
But from the ground, could it have blinded you in any way?
No, because it would reflect it back up more than it would reflect it down, I think. The way if you think of power,
pitch, though.
yeah. Well, maybe if you have a really steep pitch, potentially like a piece of glass, you could. But
I mean, if the sun's coming down at the right angle, it's still going to come off of it at the right.
yeah, but
It
I
depends
wonder
on where the
if
sun is.
it wasn't like straight flat. Like it had like a texture to the glass.
Oh, well, so that way you can grip it with your shoes too.
Yeah, and I mean, I was walking around with like tennis shoes and can stand on it pretty easily. So it was
This is cool.
it was pretty. I wonder if that texture on the glass though limits that reflectivity or whatever.
It probably does. Anything that changes the flat surface, if it breaks it up, then it's going to disperse. So it would have a dispersal effect. That's probably a good thing.
It was super cool though. It's something that I think, and here in about a half hour that episode goes live. So everyone that wants to watch it, you guys are welcome to. It's going to be really cool. I'm crossing my fingers, guys. Like if Elon will do the retweet, that's all I care.
I'm so mad you did this first. This would have been so good.
You know what?
Awesome.
I gotta give props to where props are due for that because it really was. It was Michael Gogan and the team at Company Cam. They're the ones that made this happen, and so those guys are rock stars. And when we were talking about it because it's part of a sponsorship package that they got for that, and they were like, hey, what's a good contractor? I'm like, bro, find one that's doing something crazy. And he said, oh, I got one. And I was like, oh, and he couldn't have picked those guys could not have picked a better contractor to do their showcase with because by far, like that was a cool one. I'm really excited about it. So it's going to be a lot of fun and to see that whole thing play out and just we already got a little taste of what the Tesla life is like based on that 2 million view TikTok. And you got to think like how many people would die for a 2 million view TikTok in 24 hours. And that was a big thing for me. Like when they said, hey, take that down. And I just was like, okay, sure. Delete. And they were just like, really? That's it. I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? Like, I'm not going to hurt you guys. So,
you have lawyers.
Those are Kardashian numbers right there, John. Kardashian numbers you put up on TikTok, buddy. That's awesome stuff, man. Really. Hey, on the solar stuff now, I don't have a solar house. I don't have a solar Tesla roof, but I've seen it where the government's given some pretty good kickbacks on individuals that are homeowners that are actually putting on solar roofs. So they're going to put all kinds of incentives on people moving this industry into solar. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt, but let me ask you guys this, since I've got the experts on the insurance side of things. What do the policies look like with houses that would have these type of roof systems?
I think the rates would probably be higher because rates are based on the replacement cost of the property, the replacement cost of the material.
If the rates are going to be higher, how much does that really hurt your savings with going to solar?
I mean, it's definitely something to consider. If the cost of the roof is suddenly 5 or 6 times greater than it was before, the policy is definitely going to get more expensive. I don't know by how much, but it would definitely have to happen that way. And when you take a shingle out, and I'm calling it a shingle, if you take a panel out and put it in, does that require an electrician? Does it require someone that is certified as
Yep.
a solar technician or
It
whatever
would.
it might be?
It
So the
would.
labor rates are higher even for repairs. So that would be considered by anybody that's in underwriting, developing some kind of a risk profile for that property. But if there is enough subsidy from the government for that kind of a thing, which, you know, with this administration, there could be quite a bit. I don't know if that would change the policies at all.
Yeah,
From a claims
could-
handling standpoint, I don't think it matters one bit. I don't think it'll make any difference.
Yeah, roof's a roof system, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
what do you
interesting.
think?
Is tile more expensive to insure than a regular roof then?
Yeah. Now they take into account lifespan as well, though. Do you know how long the expected lifespan of the Tesla roof was?
The warranty on them is 25 years.
Okay.
Now I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the lifespan of it per se, because just because something has a 25-year warranty, we all know that it could last a lot longer.
Good.
I think that there's so many unknowns still, but the problem with the solar roof is after a certain amount of time, it starts to produce less energy. So, you know, you start to lose a lot of there's a lot of diminishing stuff that happens within the technology itself that causes it to degrade. The batteries can't hold as much charge as they did at one point. So there's all that to take into consideration. I mean, if you guys remember when Priuses came out a few years later, there was a big controversy about Prius batteries. Because, you know, they would only last for so many miles and then they would just have to be discarded or whatever. So who knows how that's moving along on the technology side. I think it'll get better over time, but right now I know that they were saying that the warranty was like 25 years.
It's going to be obsolete too. I mean, you're going to have an obsolescence issue, which policies will probably write out. But as the technology improves, is there a computer inside? Did they update it over the air like they do with the Tesla cars?
Yep. And
It does?
It's smart.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's an app, and we showed a little bit of this. And so, like, if you get, let's say you get a storm warning in your area, or a watch kicks on, right? The battery system automatically goes into what's called storm mode, or some storm something mode or something. And essentially, what it does is if the batteries aren't fully charged, it'll pull power from the grid and charge the batteries up all the way up. Okay, to 100%. That way, if the power were to go out, it's anticipating that potentially it could because of a storm. You've got fully charged batteries across your home.
Oh wow,
that's brilliant.
So it's pulling that technology. It's also sending updates over the air, just like they do to the cars and everything. I mean, the cars will do crazy stuff. He was telling me about the crazy stuff that happens with the cars at night, where they just like all of a sudden update themselves, and you know, it comes out and everything looks different. It's like an updated iPhone. And that's just the way the technology is designed to work. And so now with, especially now that they got the inverter, all Tesla and everything else Tesla, the goal with them is to have the entire thing Tesla so that they can update them and provide newer technology to everything that's more efficient and better. So there might be a point where right now,
program.
Yeah, I mean, it might get better for a little bit before it diminishes. We don't know. Like, it's because it's such advanced technology. Like Tesla's doing stuff that no one thought that could be done. And if you think about it, it's super cool. Like I got a 2014 Grand Cherokee outside, right? My 2014 Grand Cherokee, it's an Overland, it's loaded up, and it's got the little screen on it. And when I bought that car, that screen was super advanced, for its time. Well, you go into a newer Grand Cherokee, and the technology is completely different than on mine. On a Tesla, that's not the case. You get into a Tesla car that's 4 years old, and the technology and the interface and everything looks the same as the one that's from today. And I
think that's brilliant.
It is brilliant. It's super cool.
Yeah.
And he was telling us like how you can upgrade his Model 3 to go from like advanced acceleration system or something. It's like $2,000. You press the button, like literally, you just hit a button, pay the $2,000 with Apple Pay, and all of a sudden your car goes faster.
That is awesome. You know what? I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about Tesla cars. I think Tesla cars are in themselves, even though they're more expensive now, it's almost an insurance policy. How many times do you look at a device suddenly because you see something come in? You can't help it. You can't stop yourself from doing it. You take your eyes off the road. The Tesla has this autopilot deal. It's not full, robot driving your car or anything, but it is doing a lot of the stuff for you. I think that it is full, and that it's governmental restriction more than anything, probably.
So they have a full autopilot that's in beta right now, they said. So
that's cool.
Who knows when
if that helps you avoid an accident, I bet auto insurance rates will go down for Teslas.
I mean, David was basically telling us the car drives him around, and he did. We took it for a ride. It was pretty wild.
That's so cool. Imagine this. A hailstorm hits your Tesla roof. The Tesla app tells you it suddenly had a reduction of 24% efficiency. File an insurance claim. Push a button to do so. I think Tesla should have its own insurance program.
They probably will.
Ooh, that would be better watch your words, Matt. Better watch your words.
Amazon was a couple years ago. Amazon was they hired the most was it underwriters than anyone else? A couple years ago, Amazon was hiring them. All these tech companies are trying to get into insurance. So it's very interesting to think about.
Wait a minute. Don't they realize all the insurance companies are going broke? That's why they have to keep raising their rates.
Insurance companies are going broke. Is that the latest marketing spiel? My goodness.
That's some bullshit.
That would be the day.
Thanks to all of us.
Yeah, right. All you guys, we're all just terrible, terrible people here. Goodness.
John, this is what I'm going to do. We are. John, this is what I'm going to do. So Matt and I did a presentation at Win the Storm, and Matt told me about the summit, and I'm flying up. I'm going to help him and participate in that presentation with Matt. I am going to contact a broker, and I'm going to get the difference in the premium price for an arc roof compared to a solar roof. And I want to have it there. So that's something I'm going to do, because I think I'm going to do it. So I think it'd be something interesting for everybody to kind of be eye-opening, not just for contractors, but everybody, PAs, attorneys, or just regular homeowners. That's good information. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pull some quotes for us. Okay.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm really interested to know what that number is going to look like and what the difference is, if there is one. Who knows? Insurance companies may not have caught up to it yet.
So that's true. If anybody has it, I mean, they've all got solar panels at least, so you could at least find out what someone with solar panels is paying more than someone without.
We know that Xactimate tends to say that solar panels are worth very little. So I've never seen an Xactimate solar panel number be anywhere near accurate. We should pull the solar. We should see what a solar tile roof costs on Xactimate.
It's got to be cheaper than OSB.
I mean, it's interesting, but no, that'll be great. That'll be a great presentation. And then the other thing too, you guys, there's going to be an insurance claim expert panel too that I'd like for you guys to be on Friday.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Olivia for C3 is going to be she's going to be moderating that panel. She's got some really great questions, and I think it'll be a really cool, informative panel on Friday. So if you guys haven't gotten tickets to the summit, it's going to be killer.
Yes.
I'm really excited about it.
I bought my ticket. I'm ready.
I saw that. I saw you did.
We sat through the original summit that you did, and I wanted to write an honest review, which I did. I don't think I can write an honest review on the one that I'm actually participating in. So you're not getting that from me this time, guys. It would be totally biased. I could write what says totally biased review. I think people would still probably read it. Totally biased.
Totally biased review. There you go.
Yeah, I mean it's so. It'd be very heavily weighted. The rest of the speakers sucked, but this one guy.
This one guy, you're a funny guy, and he was amazing.
Yeah, he was so sexy. Anyway, dude, it's going to be a good show. But that first set was so great. Even if it's the same the same talks that these speakers give at other conventions, the benefit of being able to go back and watch it over and over again for such a low price is it's a no-brainer. It makes no sense not to purchase this, even if you purchase it after the event. It just doesn't make any sense not to, because you have access to all that stuff for $100. So I think it's worthwhile. I'm happy to be a part of it with this. I know Remington's super excited about doing that breakout with us again. It's going to be fun. So that's this Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we're talking 48 hours from now.
I think we might have lost John.
I think we lost John for a second.
Well, and that's the goal. Like,
oh, we lost him.
Yeah, I think we did. He's a little frozen there. He was in the middle of saying something so true. I know it's gonna be monumental.
Oh no, I mean it's mind blowing. I think that TikTok just shut him down.
Yeah. That's what happens when you hit those Kardashian numbers, man. They start shutting you down.
I just love that we're calling them Kardashian numbers. Like that's just
the first thing that popped in my head.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Why is that? You watch a lot of Kardashian, Remington?
I don't watch any Kardashian. I just know it's like I don't know, a thing, I guess. I watch zero Kardashian.
Zero.
There you go. Yeah, Matt, I am pumped for the summit next week, and I put a link I'm on the YouTube channel, and I put a link up for any viewers if they're interested in viewing and going to the summit or seeing it. One of them to have that link and be able to join and watch, because John Dye put it together a pretty awesome Thursday and Friday. So I know people are going to learn some things for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's anybody that does anything in the restoration world for insurance claims, this is the one to watch. The Storm Summit is all about insurance restoration. So there's going to be stuff there from attorneys, public adjusters, contractors that deal with this, being able to watch that over and over again. I know ours is compacted with a ton of good information. I would imagine the others are as well. We got John back. We're going to put him back in.
sorry guys, I don't know what happened to our internet here.
I think TikTok shut you down, man.
Yeah, they're sabotage us.
Yeah.
We lost you, John. You were going into, Matt was talking about the summit and the great lineup that you have, and all of us getting together, and the viewers and what they're going to learn, and then you were going into something, and then it got cut off.
I don't know what I was going into, so it's going to be good. We have great speakers.
Yeah.
And it's only $100. Like, that's the thing. Like, we want to make sure that these events, especially the virtual ones that we've been doing, that they're high value. The broadcast quality's got to be on point. And then, the price point, what we really want is for people to be able to get on no matter what and just be a part of it and not have an excuse as to why they didn't join the summit. Like, there's no excuse. It's cheap, it's great, and it's available to everybody. We did it that way on purpose. And then even in the post-summit, it's pretty cool to watch, and people go back and watch the events afterwards, using our other platforms and stuff. And it's that content is really good too. And it's the same content. It's just even higher quality than the broadcast content. So we get a little bit, Facebook and some of these other things, they tend to strangle your streams a little bit. So when you get them after the fact, that's always way better quality. So, but no, it's going to be really exciting to have that. And the big thing for us too is, since we did our merge with Contractor Coach Pro, we kind of been able to tap into some of their brains. And those guys are the best when it comes to great content and coaching and high level, high value training.
Whoa!
And Matt just fell. So, Contractor Coach Pro, Jim, Nathan will be speaking at the event. He's co-hosting with me again this time, and those guys are top notch. And so I'm really excited that they're a part of it.
Can you talk about that merger a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
So just give us the story.
I can't get too deep into that story, but there's I'll put it this way though. I will tell everyone there's no drama or anything really to think about as far as that goes. It's just Balance is going in a different direction. And for those of you guys who didn't know that, I still am a part owner at Balance, but I was a director of marketing for them. And then the show was kind of a byproduct of some of the stuff we were doing at Balance already. And so they're moving into a new world. They've got some new stuff on the horizon that I'm not at liberty to talk about, but I will say that it's really exciting for them, and I'm really excited for Balance and the future that they have, where they're going. But it kind of left the show in this like limbo thing where we weren't sure what was going to happen. We had some people looking at buying it. They were interested in it, and in the 11th hour there, the partners kind of looked at me and said, "Hey, John, would you be interested in it?" And long story short, I ended up getting the rights to the whole show. And through that acquisition, so I owned it myself for a little bit, like 24 hours. And then Jim and I had a conversation. I called him the next morning to kind of just give him the lowdown because I was like, dude, I just did this thing. I don't know how I did it or why I did it or, really what's going to happen. But I was like, I needed to run it by him as, he's kind of a mentor. And I said, what do you think? And he said, man, why are we not doing something together? Because he was, we had plenty of those conversations throughout the time I was with Balance, even that, man, we could have done some cool stuff. Balance kind of scooped us up before Jim had a shot at us. And then this kind of just worked out, and we put some things together, and next thing you know, here we are. We're powered by Contractor Coach Pro now, which is,
I think it's great.
It's really cool. The brands are so aligned. We're going in the same direction, and so it just made sense that we work together. And there's going to be some more announcements, I'm sure, from Jim. I don't know. I know he's made some already. He's off on vacation this week. Brand new grandfather. He just had his grandbaby. Their grandbaby was born this morning, I think, or last night.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't think he's that old, because you got to think too. We have a third partner too in this whole thing. Graham Dessert. I don't know if you guys all know who Graham is. He spoke at the last event. We spent some time with him. He's the monster that he used to be with Roofing 101. He is actually now part of the American Contractor team as well. So Graham, Jim, and I are all partners. And I was texting him this morning. And I was telling him how both of those guys are. I mean, Graham's only like 40, and he's a granddad too. So those guys are So all my partners are grandfathers, and I don't even have kids. So it's just we're
gonna get on there.
We're just like, cool. You guys are killing it. Good for you. But no, it's really cool. It's exciting. We're really thrilled about it. Jim's been great. Nathan's great. The whole team over there is amazing. The stuff that we're planning to do is going to be really cool.
It seems to open up not just restoration contractors. You have the ability with Contractor Coach Pro to go in a different direction where it's not just your insurance restoration work that Balance claims, supplementing of anything really ties into. So you have a much bigger market suddenly, a huge audience to go to. This is cool.
Well, that's kind of some of the goal there. And, we're ultimately, and I think you're going to see a lot more of this in the future, Matt and Remington. And this is we want this to be a celebration of contractors. Because, contractors are great people. We're not here to try to belittle the industry or make the industry. We don't want to shed a negative light on what we do. We're a celebration of this industry and what the opportunities that are given because of this industry. It's such a cool place to be, and we're so honored to be able to be that voice for the industry. And so we want contractors to know when they come to one of our events, when they watch our shows, when they see what we're doing, it's all about lifting us up. It's all about giving the industry more confidence and more in celebrating the opportunity that is contracting. And so that's a big thing moving forward. You're going to see a lot more of that. The belief in ourselves that, we're not just, I hear so many contractors beat themselves up day in and day out. I sat with a contractor who's a huge name in our industry recently, and we were having lunch, and this guy is doing 50, 60, 70 million dollars a year, and he's like, I'm just a dumb roofer. And that's the kind of stuff that we want to, like, I want people to realize, no, you're not just a dumb roofer. Don't beat yourself up. Stop saying that. Like, yeah, there's some roofers out there, there's some roofers out there that are doing things certain ways, but at the end of the day, there's so many great roofers, so many great people. We want to celebrate them and give them a place to, like, really, be confident in who they are and be confident in the trades. Such a great place and such great opportunities, and that's what American Contractor is all about.
I'm really happy to hear that kind of thing. We have the same issue in public adjusting, especially brand new public adjusters, and they're only doing roof claims or something along those lines, and they're really hesitant to talk to someone that's been around for a while because they feel like they're undervalued or they're not really a public adjuster if they're handling this type of claim. No, we all handle those types of claims, even the big guys. So there's nothing wrong with it. This is what the work is, and it is professional work. There's no reason to belittle yourself. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I know you guys are doing a great job of that too, and I'm excited for it. So I love working with you, Matt, and you guys, your team over there, and you guys are gonna do some cool stuff, especially with your C3 merger. That's so cool, man. Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. We have a lot of cool things coming down the line.
What's that, Remington?
Absolutely. I was just going to add, I mean, and it goes that's all around, contractor, a PA, and me. Like I was getting my hair cut yesterday, and the lady was like, "Wait, you're an attorney for roofs? Like that's not really sexy." I was like, "Well, I love doing it. It doesn't matter. You love what you do and do a great job at it, and that's all that matters." I mean, seriously.
I agree, man.
So. Yeah,
there's no shame in me, man. Like
for the roofs,
for the roofs, baby. That is the truth. I'll advertise that all day. But no, John, I'm so excited for the summit, man. All you viewers, $100. It's going to be worth your penny. I promise you that. And join, watch. It's a great lineup, man. I really do look forward to it. I really do.
Guys, I'm excited about it. It's a summit week, so we're kind of and then we're on the heel of this Tesla thing. So we've been working all day to wrap that up. We got a ton of work to do in the next. I mean, heck, this thing starts in 36 hours. So we're getting the final touches on everything, and thankfully it's pretty. We've already done it once. We kind of got a good feel of everything, but we're updating all our stuff, making sure everything's good to go. Tomorrow is going to be a big setup day and getting everything done, and then. I'm excited. Thursday's gonna be here a lot sooner than we think. And if you haven't gotten a ticket, hop up there, grab one. It's $100. You can watch it live. You can go do what you got to do. Come back, rewatch some stuff. There's gonna be a lot of great content. I think the last one was a great indication of what this one's gonna be like, and this one's gonna be so. There's some really great names. I mean, Sam Taggart's coming. He's a beast. Chuck Doki. The Toki himself is coming back again. We're bringing him back for his second summit already. I love when that guy closes things out. His sales stuff is amazing. We've got, Matt Mulholland. You guys, Remington, you guys are going to kill it. I'm really excited about you guys being there. Steve Patrick's coming to talk about stuff. Pate Smith's going to be there. Phil Sanov is going to be around. There's just all these great speakers that Dustin Beegler talking about scaling and cash flow. You guys want to know about cash flow? Troy Clymer and Ryan Holiday are going to do a really awesome presentation about cash flow.
That's a great thing.
Nathan Thibodeau is going to talk about hero culture, which hero culture is really important, especially considering what we're doing. You are kind of the hero. And so there's going to be some really, really great presentations that I'm really thrilled about because it's going to present this in a different way than what you will get at any other conference. This is the raw, straight up content that you got to have to really be able to take your business to the next level. So I'm really excited.
I tell you, the only thing I'm somewhat nervous about is not having that audience in front of us to interact with. Is But all the speakers are going to be sitting there, probably ragging on us a little bit, and that'll help out.
They'll be up in the green room, and then the auditorium is kind of it's really cool. You'll like it because the feel in there is really good. The team's in there to get you going. We'll pump you up. The energy's still there. Trust me. Like we do a really good job of that.
Oh, good. I'm going to make you laugh.
Look forward to it. John, you're going live, right, at 5, so in like a minute or two, aren't you?
In 2 minutes. Well, no, we're not going live. It's pre-recorded. It's just getting ready to go live. But I think everyone, if you guys want to watch it, it's going to be on Facebook and on YouTube, premiering on both of those right at 5 o'clock. That's the Tesla episode. So
if we share our screen and then put that on there, then we can totally coattail this.
Oh, yeah.
That is so awesome. Well, what is it? John's still like, no, not happening, dude. Not
Matt,
doing that. Love it. Well, yeah, I guess we'll hop off so we can take a look, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch that and see what it's all about.
I think we lost.
I think we might have lost John again. Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
But that's what we'll do. There you go.
All right, Remington.
Well,
I get to see you tomorrow, I think, or Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we'll be we're talking on Friday at that summit. I think we got him back one more time.
Yeah, I must have some weird thing happening with our internet right now over here. So thank God I'm not going live, because that would be terrible.
That would be.
But no, I'm really excited about it. I think there's going to be some cool stuff. So you guys got to get over there, get your tickets, get signed up. It's ready to go. What is happening?
Let's do it. Perfect.
I see what's happening.
Is that your thing?
Yeah, I just started to play. So
yeah,
it's like, what is happening? I got some music coming out here.
Well, I know it's starting, John. We'll let you go, and we're gonna hop over and watch it.
Sounds good, guys. Have a great evening. Thank you, Matt, for having me on today. Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. See you soon, bud.
Have a good one, John. Remington, I'll see you in a few days, and we'll be talking together on stage.
Sounds good, guys. Friday at 3 o'clock. Listen to This Bull is doing a live presentation. We'll see you there at the summit.
It's only $100. It'll be worth it. We're talking about
$100. How about in Texas? You're still in Texas. What got anything to say about what's going on out there?
Dude, the hail out here is ridiculous. It's monster hail. Now, some of the outskirts, it was still big, but it was kind of slush ball. So if you go into the Bryan area, towards the edge of the storm where it was still a large size, you might not find good hits just because it wasn't very solid at that point. And then it started getting smaller. But in the real center of the storm, it's some of the best hail damage I've seen. It's really impressive. We've been on 4 commercial roofs so far today. We've got 7 more lined up. And I've got another one I got to be on in 15 minutes. That's 5 minutes away. So it'll be great. But we're getting as many in as we can. It just keeps adding up. One of the contractors I met with this morning is, how much capacity can you take on? Because I've got 200 more buildings for you to look at.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have the capacity, but that's going to be a few days away before we can start doing those. So, but yeah, I mean, if there's someone out here looking at commercial roofs, especially, I don't know if we're really opened up fully for residential in Texas just yet. Texas is a big state. There might be certain areas, but not in this area for residential, but for commercial stuff, we're definitely open to helping everyone out. And even if you don't get us involved, but you need some advice on something or some opinions, feel free to reach out. So Texas is great.
Absolutely. Reach out to C3, guys, if you have some large loss out there. That's for sure. Great guys.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'm going to have to let you guys go so I can get to the next one. Thanks, Remington.
Yeah, man. You guys have a good one. Nice seeing you, Hat.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you later.